Last month we held a giveaway for the Travis Scott Jumpman Jacks, and the lucky winner just picked them up. If you missed it, wipe them tears because we got a brand new one. This time it's gonna be a little bit different. We're giving you the choice between two fire options. You can either choose the J Balvin Rio 3s or the Bread Force and Industrial Blue 4s, all in your size if you win. To enter, it's super simple. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel and drop a comment on which option you would pick. This giveaway is gonna run through the entire month of June. Good luck, everyone. The April SB Dunks is a beautiful shoe all around. The problem with the sneaker is they use some suede that bleeds like crazy, and of course, they place it next to white mesh. But today, I'm gonna show you guys the proper way how to clean this shoe up without ruining them. I'm Vick Almighty, welcome back to the channel. For today's episode of Shoe Care Academy, I'm gonna show you guys the proper way on how to clean up these April SB Dunks. For the last month, I've been wearing these almost every single day. Let me tell you, this shoe got a lot of compliments when I would go out, mainly because of the chrome swooshes and chrome details all around the sneaker. About a month ago as well, I applied some sole shields and they held up nicely. Now, before I start the cleaning, I'm gonna peel them off so I can see how the sole looks. Whew. Not bad, you guys. The sole looks brand new after a good month of wearing these every single day. The rest of the shoe is pretty toast, but the sole shields did its job by protecting the soles and keeping them icy blue. If I didn't have the sole shield on, these soles will for sure be yellowed and heavily used with some heel drag on the bottom. But thanks to the sole shield, I protected it from all of that. Now let's get on to the cleaning. I'm gonna put the left shoe to the side and focus only on the right one for before and after purposes. I am gonna be taking the shoelace and the insole apart so we can clean those up separately. To give the shoe a good proper deep clean inside and out, we're gonna be using the Rejuvenator Essential Shoe Cleaning Kit and the Dry Suede Kit. Let's take everything apart. I like this insole. Couple of things worth pointing out. After I remove the sole shield, the bottom has a lot of residue on there. After the cleaning, if it's still there, I'll show you guys how to remove that. Another thing to point out is the shoelace. It is pretty dirty, but that's not the main issue. All around the lace, there's bleeding from the green suede. Some areas are worse than others. For this, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time to get it cleaned up, but that's kind of what I want to talk about this shoe. This suede bleeds like crazy, even without putting water or solution on the shoe. This is just from wear and tear. As you can see here, there's bleeding on the sock liner, there's bleeding on the tongue tag, a little bit on the tongue as well. There's just little spots where there's bleeding. If I go heavy on the shoe and oversaturate it with water and solution, there's a good chance that green dye will bleed onto the white mesh and that's not gonna come out. So I have to be very smart on how to clean this shoe. Now this next step is very important. We're gonna be using a dry brush and a compressor if you have one to clean up this shoe. We want to remove as much of the surface dust and grime off the shoe as possible. When we start the cleaning, we don't want to push it deeper into the materials. The air compressor and dry brushing the sneaker is going to make a world of a difference. Let's get that going. Good to go with the air compressor. It removed that light layer of brown dust that was all over the shoe. It's not quite brown no more, but it's still dingy. Now, I know not everybody has an air compressor at home. They can be expensive. I've said this in the past, but something you can do is to go one of those free car washes that offer free vacuums. Most of them have air compressors. You can just go with your shoe, pull up, use the compressor real quick and take off. Nobody's gonna say anything. I know it's more of a hassle, but it does a job. Now moving on with this cleaning, let's start with the Dry Suede Kit. All around the suede, it does look a little bit cleaner, but there's still some marks all around. Before I grab the water and solution, let's get those marks off using the eraser and the Dry Suede brush. Good to go with the Dry Suede Kit. We got rid of all the heavy marks all around the suede. It looks good overall. We're still gonna be using some solution and water on the uppers, but not just yet. The next part I'm gonna take care of is the midsole and the outsole. For the outsole, we just gotta take care of the edges. I'm gonna be using the stiff bristle brush to get this all cleaned up. The thing with this part, I don't wanna get any of the dirty water and solution onto the uppers from the outsole and sole. Now before I forget, let's put the shoe tree inside the shoe. This will eliminate the creasing on the toe box and help me apply pressure on the toe box during the cleaning. Next, let's squirt 2 squirts of our solution inside the bowl of water. Good to go using the stiff bristle brush. We got the midsoles and the edges of the outsole all cleaned up. There is still a lot of residue left on the outsole. To remove it, it's super easy. All you need is a glue eraser. You just gotta go back and forth, create some friction, and that residue will come right off. Residue is fully off the outsoles, super easy using a glue eraser. Now before we move on from the midsoles and outsoles, I'm gonna use a rejuvenator wipe to buff off the edges near the uppers. There's still some scuffs all around. I'm gonna wrap the wipe around my finger and remove those stains. Midsoles and outsoles are fully complete. Before we move on from that, I want to point out one thing. As you can see right here, there's a little bit of yellowing going on. There's nothing I can do about that. That's simply because the sole shield in that area wore off from so much wear and tear. Now imagine if I didn't put a sole shield on the sneaker, the entire sole will be yellow just like that. I only wore them for a month. That's how fast these outsoles turn yellow, so keep that in mind. While I got the rejuvenator wipes out, I'm going to use it to wipe off some of the marks on the toe box, the white leather on the shoe. Really what I want to focus on is the tongue tag. As you can see, there are some scuffs and bleeding going on. I'm gonna use the rejuvenator wipes to get those stains off. I don't want to scrub too hard and potentially ruin the Nike text on the tag. So far so good. All the dye wiped off nicely from the tongue tag. I used the softer side from the wipe, not the side with the texture. On the leather toe box, same exact thing. All the scuffs wiped off so far, but for that part, I used the texture side to get that grime off. While I'm at it, I'm also gonna try to take care of the dye that's on the sock liner. I'm just gonna rub back and forth using the wipe. So far so good. The shoe looks a million times better from when we started, and we haven't even cleaned the uppers with some solution and the brushes. First, I'm gonna start off with the white mesh and the white leather on the shoe. Basically everything that's white, I'm gonna give a good scrub. I'm just gonna be very careful and not oversaturate or try not to get any water and solution on the suede areas so I don't cause any bleeding at the moment. Next, I'm gonna use a towel, dip it in water and solution, wrap it around my thumb, and go over the mesh areas to give it a deeper clean. Now let's jump over to the suede areas. Same exact thing. I'm gonna use a soft bristle brush. I'm gonna break it down into sections. Once I get some water and solution on the brush, I'm gonna shake the majority of it off. Then I'm gonna hit each panel individually. I'm gonna go in a circular motion, then pat it down dry right away so it doesn't have time to bleed onto the white mesh areas. Cleaning is complete. I still have to clean up the laces and the insole. As far as the shoe goes, I gotta dry it. There's two different ways I could go about it. I could put it outside in the sun and let it dry by itself. I'm sure it'll be okay. The second option, which is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go use the compressor one more time, hit the entire shoe to blow out as much of the water and solution that's in the shoe. This will probably prevent bleeding onto the white mesh, and that's what I'm trying to do. So let's use the compressor real quick. We'll put them outside in the sun to let them dry. Then we'll come back, clean up the lace and the insole. All right, so we are in Arizona, super hot. These should dry within 30 minutes. Luckily for us, the sun is fully out, so the UV rays should help whiten up the material on the shoe. All that's left to do is to clean up the laces and the insole. I have clean socks, so my insole is pretty clean, but I'm gonna give it a good wipe down either way. There's feet sweat. As far as the lace go, it is pretty dirty and there is stains from the suede dye. I'm gonna let this sit inside the water and solution for the rest of the day. Tomorrow I'll take it out, give it a good scrub, let them dry, and it should be as good as new. By the way, I did get some fresh water and solution. Cleaning is complete. The shoe is also dried. Thanks to the UV rays, it also helped whiten up the shoe. Now there's one step left to do. The suede as is pretty rough. We haven't reset the nap on the suede just yet. For that, I'm gonna use the medium bristle brush, dried. I'm just gonna brush all over the suede back and forth until it's back to its original soft texture. Good to go with the suede. It's back to being soft. There's one more step I'm gonna try to do before I lace up the shoe. On the sock liner, there is some dye. I've had some luck in the past using Angela Suede Renew. Usually I use a cotton swab, dip it in the Angela Suede Renew, and go over the area that has a dye. Most of the time it doesn't work, but I have had some luck in the past, so I'm gonna try it today. Sorry guys, that was a waste of time. Usually that works when the dye is on there fresh. I think it sat there way too long to the point where nothing's gonna take that off. Even the shoelace still has dye on it. I put them in the washing machine. That didn't take it off either. It is what it is. Keep that in mind when wearing this shoe. Let's lace it up. This SB Dunk Glow is the first April skateboard collab with Nike. April Skateboards was founded by professional skateboarder Shane O'Neill back in 2018. Other than the friends and family pair, I would love to see more collabs from this brand and Nike in the future. Alright guys, that's going to bring us to an end on this full cleaning of these April SB Dunk Glows. Overall, they cleaned up nicely. When it comes to this shoe, you got to be very careful with the sneaker. They're very delicate. Luckily for me, I wore these shoes for a month straight with sole shields on. But after a month of wear and tear, near the bottom, some of the sole shields started to come off. I did get some grime on the blue icy sole. That tells me that the sole is very delicate, and after a few wears, the shoe will turn yellow. As far as the uppers go, the main delicate thing is a suede, mainly because it's next to white mesh and a white sock liner. When cleaning the shoe, you want to take the proper precautions using the essential shoe cleaning kit from Rejuvenator and the dry suede kit. You also want to use other techniques like using the compressor to blow off as much of the grease and dirt off the shoe before you start cleaning. For those of you that stuck around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys a promo code to save 20% off the website for the next 24 hours. Use promo code VICK20. Stay tuned for next week's video for a chance at a similar offer. I gotta get out of here, so drop a comment on what you want me to clean next. I'm Vick Almighty. I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.